Is Dhirendra Shastri real or fake? Let's find out in today's video. Hi everyone and welcome to this channel, Susanna Reacts, where I learn all about all things India with your help. And in today's video, I wanted to look at Dhirendra Shastri. It has been really trending in India. There has been basically no coverage about this in the West, but certainly in India it has been very popular. There has been very little English speaking or English kind of magazine coverage on that one, even within kind of that I tried to research. So my point of view may be a bit skewed. So I will absolutely welcome your point of view, your clarifications on the situation, and I'm sure you can help me understand everything much better that's happening over there. And without further ado, let's dive right into it. So as I was trying to understand the topic, I want to say that I first wanted to understand who Dhirendra Krishna Shastri is. They call him a 26-year-old Hindu tiger. In Hindustan Times, they call him, and this is what I noticed in many publications, and I'm not too sure why this is jumpy, is he's called Cell-Style Godman. So I'm not too sure what that is even supposed to mean, but that is kind of what they're referring him to. And from what I understand, he is from Brahmi family that, and his great grandfather was a follower of, I think that the most beloved god in Hindu, and I think he basically. What he does, it says he conducts religious and moral sermons and sometimes reads minds of those visiting him while providing solutions to their problems. So what the Times are saying, that he has a huge following who believe in his miraculous powers, and he became famous because his followers claim that he can read minds. So I was able to find a couple of videos of him doing perhaps what he does. So my understanding is that he picks people perhaps from the crowd. So when he's preaching, he looks at someone, picks them up, and then he writes something about them and gives them solution. At the end of the video, I'm not going to jump, but like he gives this lady who is asking him about her three daughters and the challenges they're facing, and he's just basically writing something down and giving solutions. So when I'm looking at him, and obviously she's sharing a lot of, I feel like, information about those daughters. So from this particular example, I don't think it requires to be psychic to, so to speak, to be able to share what he's sharing with her based on what the interpreter is coming back with. So I am, yeah, he's asking her a lot of questions. My understanding, or what I would imagine a psychic to be, is that they're able to read your mind, and he's asking a lot of questions. So maybe that's not how it entirely works, but to me, based on, for example, this video, it's, I don't know, not perhaps as believable. Um, and then there is another video of those two ladies that came to him, and they also um, he's trying to help them. But again, the issue and the challenge that I have is that everything is not in the language I can speak, and so it's very hard to judge whether his powers are real or not. Now, is this the real crux of controversy or not? When I was just trying to look further into him, I think what is interesting about him, that he has been adamant in pushing back the attempts of evangelists to convert Hindus to Christianity. And what I got to find about India is that it's a country of a lot of gurus and spiritual teachers, and what they call lots of babas. And I think they refer to him as a baba as well. And that may not be completely I don't know, in the Western world, perhaps I wouldn't be much recognized because we are a bit more scientific here, and spirituality, although it has been on the rise for the last 20 years, it is not as prevalent as it used to be. Basically, from what I understand, that there is a movement in India that is trying to fight those kind of fake healers, etc. And I think what they're trying to do is to paint him as one, where he has, I think. So why they're trying to paint him as one? So I was just trying to really understand, because it does look like this issue has perhaps several layers, and yeah. So I think one of the thing is that there has been multiple instances of tribal communities resisting efforts by Christian missionaries and churches to convert them, and he is the one who he wants to focus on unity among Hindus and boycotts those who speak against the Hinduism, basically, and he wants to return Hindus to Hinduism. So he has a bit of a religious mission, if you like. And there might be people that like it, and there might be people that don't. And perhaps that is where the crux of it, the controversy is. So it looks like this is the Maharashtra organization. They claim that he is a fraud, and there is this anti-fraud organization. What I understood in India, feel free to help me understand how that all operates. And they're trying to paint him as a fraud. Now, I wanted to figure out, okay, so why are they trying to paint him as a fraud, right? Like that's usually what happens. So I looked at the organization on Wikipedia, and basically they are dedicated to fighting superstition in India, particularly instead of Maharashtra. And as I was reading further, one thing came up, which was the financial matter. In 2017, they were financed by a foreign fund. So sometimes, obviously, when you want to understand where any kind of motivations to potentially discredit someone's are coming from, I would like to follow the money, right? It perhaps is where things might be coming from. It might not be true, but I like to look at where the money is coming. And when I look at this organization, it looks like they were receiving foreign funds. And there is another article that I found about basically that there has been financial irregularities in this organization, and there was lots of foreign funding. So what is it about the organization that they're trying to really achieve, and really who is behind that? So in the year, Foundation India has awarded a sum of a lot of money, and there has been donated. So are they being used as an activist organization? What are their goals? What they're trying to achieve? And so it would be really great to understand if any of you know what are the goals of the organization. Obviously, it was to fight superstition, but I just always like to look at the secondary type of motivations there. So it's very interesting why they're challenging him from this organization. What is it for them to gain? Now, another interesting thing here was that even the Dhirendra Shastri, which I'm sorry I can't really pronounce, is a center of photos of politicians on his social media. So is he really about just bringing Hindus back to religion, the Hinduism, or it has some sort of a political angle? So it feels like this is a gap that I would like to fill. And I think that the crux of the controversy was that he was challenged to speak at an event where they said that he fled the organization, and then he basically came back and said, well, I did not flee, and I can come and perform the miracles. I didn't quite understand how that happened, how that event happened, and how he fled, if he had other commitments. If you know what is that part, I'm really missing, and I'm really having a hard time to figure out if he left because he had other commitments, or why is there a perception of him fleeing and not being able to perform quote unquote miracles that he performs. So that I would vastly appreciate. So is he fake or is he real? I'm not too sure. It's as a person who doesn't really know the landscape much, and therefore it's sometimes really hard to comment. It looks like there is perhaps a campaign to discredit, from the way it comes across, that he's just trying to do good by his people, trying to revert the conversion to Christianity and to Islam, and trying to bring people to Hindu, and that's kind of his mission. And amongst that, he can read people's minds. And then there's the other part, fighting about against the superstition and all the fake babas, etc. So I mean, when it comes to his skills, I don't know, from what I've seen in those two videos, and I'm sure there's many more that I can't even understand. And it looks like people are seeing that he's gifted. Fair enough. There are a lot of people that are gifted and they can perhaps see into the future, or they have the healing abilities. I know people like that myself, and I would not doubt that. My only point there is if these people are connected to the false light or the real light. So now he apparently, has gone through his own practice and he's connected to God. And I think that he talked about the fact that everyone should experience. I can't figure out in which article, but he's saying that everyone should experience that type of a gift. And yeah, everyone should experience it. This is a proclamation of Sanatan Dharma. So yeah, he claimed he acquired the skills by the grace of God. So I don't know. For me, as a person, actually, I would call myself spiritual. I would want to look at, is he connected to the false light or the real light? This would be the one thing of my interest. Now, there seems to be, again, I mentioned that before, to me there is some sort of a political agenda to discredit him. It doesn't look like he stands for it. There was even some the organization that does look a bit dubious based on their financial doings and their kind of interests. They look like they're trying to discredit him, not to show what they are to gain out of that. But he also likes to be from the articles, it looks like he's connected to politicians. So it's a very tricky territory. I'm not political, and I think that politics is dirty. At the end of the day, you never know who's right or wrong. But yeah, it might be a smear campaign on his personality. He said he would not give up. And other than that, he looks like a fun blog. He was joking a lot in those videos that I watched. And yeah, I would love if you could tell me a bit more about what exactly is happening. Why do I feel like there is a maybe smear campaign against him, or just trying to discredit him? And if you think that he has the real healing powers or not, I would absolutely love to know. If you could fill in my gaps in this issue in the comment section below. And please do like, share, and subscribe if you like this video. And I hope to see you in the next time. You take care. Bye-bye.